Welcome to Jesse Watters Primetime. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Now, Joe Biden sure had a bad case of the Mondays after the president rolled into work late this afternoon, finally back from his weekend getaway to Delaware. But it wasn't a relaxing weekend for the big guy after another batch of highly classified documents were found stored away in Joe's home in Wilmington. That's 5 more documents found in his private library. That's on top of the other 5 classified documents already found stashed right next to his Corvette. And the 10 documents found at the Penn Biden Center, his Chinese-funded think tank. The more they keep digging, the more documents they find. Now, Joe may be telling everyone that these documents were safe, but back in Washington, patience is running thin.
I'm glad that there is a special prosecutor that's been appointed to investigate.
You are glad that there's a special prosecutor.
Classified documents are to be taken seriously. No one is above the law. So I'm glad to see the Justice Department doing its work.
Well, it's certainly embarrassing, right?
It's not just Democrats turning on Joe. Even the media's laughing at him.
So there's Biden and his sweet 1967 Stingray. But look on the back left there. I don't know if we can push in there, but that looks like a mess. That's worse than my garage. That's worse than my garage. I mean, that's not where, I don't know exactly where the documents are in that garage, but that does not look like what a secure location would be.
And the media can't deny it any longer. Joe Biden was sloppy and irresponsible with these documents. Unlike Donald Trump, Joe wasn't president when he took them and therefore had no power to declassify. But some Democrats can't admit that Biden was irresponsible.
By Biden's own standard, wasn't Biden totally irresponsible with classified information?
Hoping that we will keep a sense of symmetry about our analysis of these situations and a sense of proportion about the underlying offenses. There's some people who are trying to compare having a government document that should no longer be in your possession to inciting a violent insurrection.
And others, like Adam Schiff, are now saying they're not rushing to any conclusions.
The White House knew about this on November 2nd. Should this information have been revealed earlier?
I think the administration will need to answer that question. I'm going to reserve judgment until they do. But I think it's important to point out that the Biden approach was very different in the sense that it looks, as far as we can tell, that it was inadvertent that these documents were in these locations.
Since when has Adam Schiff ever reserved judgment? It would have been nice if he reserved judgment over Russiagate. It was only when he was put under oath that he admitted he had nothing. These documents were left up for grabs, left right in the open, ready for the taking. We know the president's Wilmington home has had a history of faulty security lapses. In 2015, the vice president's Secret Service actually shut off his security system because it kept malfunctioning. How do we know it was ever fixed? And it will only be a matter of time until the liberal media starts asking who had access to these highly classified documents. Now, we know Hunter claimed to own the house where Joe was stashing his documents. Are we sure Hunter didn't get a look at these documents or sell them to his business partners in China or Ukraine? And they won't even tell us who's been over Joe's home either. Joe spent about a quarter of his presidency in that Wilmington home, and we don't have any of the visitor logs. In fact, the White House today admitted that they don't have anything on record, telling Fox News, quote, like every president in decades of modern history, his personal residence is personal, close quote. So we don't know who's been in and out of President Biden's home. How do we know Hunter wasn't bringing over his Chinese business partners to Joe's house? The American people have a right to know. And some members of the GOP want answers.
We wonder if the Secret Service had records now. That's our next question, because he still had Secret Service protection. And you would assume that the Secret Service would vet people that would be allowed on the premise of the dwelling for the President of the United States.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.